Hey everyone, it's Ann, Still City Scented. I hope you all are great. Thank you for joining me for another fragrance freestyle. Tonight, we are talking about a fragrance that I instantly fell in love with as soon as I smelled it, and I don't know why it took me this long to acquire a full bottle. This is from Pictura Fragrance, Van Gogh's Irises. So if you're not familiar with Vincent Van Gogh, that would surprise me, but go onto Google and look at some of his amazing works. I think Starry Night's probably his most famous painting he's ever done, but his iris painting is pretty beautiful as well. All of his works are great, but the poor guy, though, suffered schizophrenia, so a lot of his works allegedly were done during his psychotic moment, so they come off a little interesting, unique, obviously because his brain was not cooperating with the rest of the world, unfortunately. But let's go. We're not going to walk through the house today. I've covered that in several iterations. I will go through the notes. And actually, before the notes, we'll talk about iris a little bit used in perfumery. I'm not a perfumer. I'm not a botanist? Tree. Whatever. I'm not a scientist based in florals. So if you want to get really nerdy with someone, there are many plethora of perfumers, websites, resources you can go onto for that type of information. But we'll talk about, brief about iris, about the notes, how I experience it, where I'd wear it, etc., and then just kick it. So there are actually 6 types of iris that are used in fragrance. The most commonly used in perfumery, Palladia, Germanica, and then Florentina. So Palladia really is hands down used in every iris fragrance, unless they're using an aromacochemical to synthesize iris, and they use inones for that and for violet. So, but if you're using naturals, which obviously DL does, Palladia is, I guess I'm reading this, obviously native to the Mediterranean region, has pale lavender flowers, and is highly valued for its warm, sweet, powdery scent. So what they do is they take the rhizomes, or the roots, and they grind it down into orris butter. That orris butter becomes the base of what the iris scent is going to be for perfumery. Second is Germanica. I don't know where that is grown, to be honest, but it's called the bearded iris. Palladia is a Dalmatian iris because there's spots on it. The bearded iris looks like a flower with a beard. Pretty cool. So this one I didn't know, actually. So they harvest the rhizomes and grind them the same way, but apparently it takes years for that to come to fruition. So a reason that you really don't see a lot of above 35-ish% max, unless you're Rachel Doré, I'm doing iris stuff. It's because it's so expensive, so time consuming. And then Florentina, it says similar to iris, Palladia, and Germanica. They're obviously the rhizomes used to produce orris butter, but this one, so Germanica has a more slightly woody scent, and Florentina has more floral than woody scents. So just to kind of primer, and there's 3 others, Iris Curatica, Sibirica, and Reticulata, but apparently they're not used often. The Curatica is allegedly fresher and less powdery. Siberian iris says more often used in ornamental gardens and perfumery, but it's more really green and earthy. And the Reticulata is allegedly purple and blue flowers, less common in perfumery. They can produce orris butter, but it has a distinct scent profile, which doesn't say what it is. So, summary of iris again, but you'll see Palladia, Germanica, and Florentina most commonly in perfumes if they disclose what kind of iris they use, which they don't really have to, I guess. Palladia is used most often. So anyway, that side deviation about iris aside, let's go to his website and talk about the notes. I won't read the brief because we're already at 4 minutes. Actually, I lied. I'll read the top brief. So it says, whispers of iris and citrus bloom in a sea of amber. A vibrant extrait of parfum echoing Van Gogh's gaze upon his asylum's radiant garden. So again, he was in an asylum. A passionate spirit captured in scent, seeking beauty within a chaotic world. And the painting on here is just absolutely awesome. It's so beautiful. So the top notes are sandalwood, lavender, bay leaf, citrus, turmeric. The heart is iris butter, clove, castorium, black, currant leaf, powdery notes. And the base notes are vanilla, brown sugar, oud, cardamom, tonka bean, amber accord, and musk. So this is another fragrance that when you read the notes, you would not expect to see them come out on your skin, at least on my skin, in the way it's presented. So when you spray it, the turmeric and bay leaf and lavender and sandalwood are all present on my skin. They come out at different times though, depending on how my skin's moving, how warm my skin is, how cold my skin is. But today, I sprayed it like 10 minutes ago. It's Sandalwood and really faint bay leaf, right? But it moves on my skin anyways really quickly to the iris. So, and then it progresses, obviously. I can smell clove, I can smell Castorium, but it's not overpowering. The black currant leaf doesn't get pissy, which is wonderful. And the powdery note's obviously more iris. And the base, though, I experienced it about hour 3 or hour 4. It's not that sweet, right? But you think vanilla, brown sugar, oud, tonka bean, amber. It's not sweet. Like the balance of, I think the musks, the oud, the cardamom really play well with that. The vanilla, the brown sugar, and the tonka bean that are in this fragrance. So overall, it's really, really balanced. It's beautiful on my skin. It is so unique for an iris fragrance. So when you think iris fragrances, most people, like my first iris immediately is Lavender, Guerlain, the oldest version possible. Secondly would be like something like Pardon Infusion de Riz or Serge Lutens Iris Silver Mist, any of the DR Hommes, some Valentino Uomos, Chanel number 19. Naomi Goodsir has, I forget the name of her iris perfume, which is actually really nice as well, but that's more incense than iris. But there's a slur of them, right? Oh, Hermès, Iri de Champ, there's a ton of iris fragrances. The difference with this fragrance specifically and the quote traditional iris fragrances, minus L'Herbe, that I've experienced, is this is so rich and multifaceted. It's not something, most irises are really fleeting, right? They're clean, they're powdery, they're kind of a quote safe fragrance. So if you are traveling, if you're working in hospital, working with the public, working with sensitive people, a cleaner iris could be great for you. This also could be used, I believe, in those types of settings as well. It is not going to be off-putting. You'll still get this beautiful, beautiful iris, but it's more complex, right? Like it's just like peeling back the layers of an onion for this is on my skin. And that's what really drew me in. Like when I smelled it, I was just like, oh, because everything kind of swirled around like a top. Like things are just coming out and flashing and coming out and flashing and coming out and flashing at different times. The entire duration the top spins, or the perfume lasts on my skin, right? So about 4 hours. So it is just so amazing to me that that note profile can come together to make an iris dominant fragrance. And I don't know what percent his iris is, but I'm thinking it beats the pants off of anyone else that claims they use a lot of iris, like Francesca Bianchi. There's actually a comparison to this in Sticky Fingers on Parfum when I was like, yins are crazy. That's not even fair to say that. But it's just, it's so beautiful. And I'm not a sweet fragrance person, save a couple of them. It's just not sweet. It's just, it's so wonderful. It's like you're laying in a field of iris, or you're overlooking an iris garden, like he says, but there's a sandalwood forest behind you. You have spices in this garden around you. Everything is coming together with you, and you're just smelling that like all at once. But then again, if the wind blows, you smell things at different times, right? So again, like I really appreciate his fragrances because they, I think, take you on a scent journey. And if others appreciate fragrances when you're wearing it around them, I hope it takes them on a scent journey also. Comparable, I said, someone said Sticky Fingers, and I said, bullshit. Sticky Fingers is entirely too synthetic to me and doesn't even have, the notes are kind of similar, but you cannot replicate this fragrance with anything else. Weird Word, I think I mentioned Anywhere, really? Because again, although there's a new component, there's some spices in there, it's not like in your face, right? The notes are really balancing out. It's beautifully woven, right? It's just this tapestry of beautiful iris. So, yeah, that's my experience with Van Gogh's irises, and I love it. So I hope that you guys will at least sample it. I know he has a sample set coming within the next few months, so that'd be cool to be able to smell all of his works at one time. If you do decide to get the sample set that he has eventually available, wear them, I would say, different times of the month. See how it acts on your skin, different settings. Because again, some of them do require a few wears to really get acclimated, but you'll fall in love with them, I promise. So, all right, everyone, have a great night. Thanks for watching. We'll talk soon. Bye.